This is Dakota News Now.
Good evening, I'm Andrea Anderson.
I'm Brian Allen. As you just saw on World News tonight, the fighting between Israel and Hamas has intensified. Over the weekend, militants from Hamas launched a sunrise attack from Gaza, leaving at least 70 Israelis dead and more than 900 injured. At least 11 of those dead are Americans. Immediately following the attacks, South Dakota's congressional delegation and Governor Kristi Noem condemned the attack. Israel has responded by bombing at least 130 targets in Gaza within 3 hours in what the government says is just the beginning.
The history between Israel and Hamas is long and deadly. Hamas was founded in 1987 as part of the Palestinian uprising against Israel's occupation of Gaza and the West Bank. The faction gained control during the 2007 election and again in 2014. Both Gaza and the West Bank were brought together under one government. Now, both Israel and Palestine's cultural history and identity are linked to the city of Jerusalem. Since Hamas's founding, the faction is committed to the destruction of Israel and is considered a terrorist group by the United States and Britain.
Earlier today, we caught up with a part-time Sioux Falls resident who lives in Madian, Israel, within 20 miles of where some of the deadly attacks are taking place. John Gaskins talked with him for about an hour to get a sense of what life is like there. John joins us in studio to continue our coverage tonight. John.
Brian, for 25 years, David Knockenberg, who spends a month every summer living in Sioux Falls, has lived in Madian, an upscale city of about 92,000. It's 20 miles from both Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. It's about 40 miles from the Gaza Strip. And even with that buffer, I could hear the tension in his voice during our conversation today.
It's been a terrible several days. I've been under total stress.
It could be a lot worse. While thousands of missiles are being fired and thousands of people are being killed, beaten or held hostage within an hour of him. David, who lives alone, feels fortunate that he and his adult daughter's family live in the one city in the region he calls a war bubble.
We are in such a particular location that their missiles don't reach us, and there's nothing here for them to destroy. But we've heard the booms.
And a few hours after I talked to David, he called me back with this update.
We just got like a message here from the defense people from charge of the city. They said we should all be prepared to be for a long period of time in the sealed rooms.
It's a pandemic-like existence. Schools are closed. Store shelves are almost empty. But David still takes his dog for walks.
I started walking around with a baseball bat. That's really going to help me against somebody with an M16.
He can't imagine living anywhere else in the region.
I don't know. Thank God I'm not one of those places. Thank God I'm here. I've been in Modi'in over 25 years now. I don't know how I would survive.
But the widower, whose wife passed away just a few months ago, has no designs of leaving Israel. It's home for him and his only family.
They're writing it out. I mean, what do you do? I mean, what do you give up every time the chips are down?
David is a New York City native who has been a South Dakota resident for 8 years, and he comes back to Sioux Falls once a month, every summer, to work at the Apple Tree Daycare Center. The reason why he came here in the first place is directly linked to a terrorist attack on his wife. And you can read more about that in this story at dakotanewsnow.com. Brian and Andrea.
John Gaskins tonight. John, thank you.